Greeting online students. My name is Marietta Candler. I am the Interim Division Chair of Nursing and Allied Health. Right now, the faculty that was going to be the program coordinator of the online has resigned. So I will also be taking that over until we get someone, so don't panic. This is going on my 22nd year of teaching, so I was here when this program started, so I am well familiar with it, and I will try my best to help keep you on track and keep you encouraged and keep you from getting too discouraged. Now, there will be times when you're going to think, what have I gotten myself into? There's going to be times when you think, I can't do this. There's going to be times when you think, where is this at? I don't have a clue. I'm lost. Those are the times you pick up your phone or you get on your computer and you email me, you text me, you call me, and we work it out one-on-one. I also have webinars that I can set up for anyone, for any topic that we need to. If we need to do a small group webinar and you are interested in that, if you will let me know, I'll be glad to do that with you as well. Okay, my main purpose of doing this is I'm going to do an overview in Blackboard of your Nursing Theory 2 course and then another overview of your Nursing Practicum course. So you kind of know where things are, what's in each folder, and just try to help you get your feet started. So let's get me off here. If you go to your course, and we're going to start with going over the theory course. When you pull up your theory course, it will look something like this. Now, yours may look just a little bit different because I'm in faculty view and you would have a student view. But you should find these things over to the side. Now, when you see these things, there's your home page. This is your home page. When you see student resources and click on student resources, you'll find your orientation agenda that you should have, we will have went over on Tuesday. You will see it says bring a copy of your current TB, CPR, and hepatitis B series if you've not already turned one in to the secretary. That's very imperative that we get all that taken care of. Also, when you got your student ID made, it should say SRN behind it, Student Registered Nurse. If it doesn't, you'll need to get another one of those made. Your handbook is located both in the theory and the practicum course under student resources. Please make sure you have a copy of that you've read it, you thoroughly understand the policies and procedures because we do go by them. And one of the very first things you're going to need to do is go into Respondus Lockdown and download this as directed by the link. How do I get to the link? You just click on Respondus Lockdown and it takes you to the link and tells you what to do. Now, before you install it, it says here's a brief overview explaining the basic features. Make sure that you watch that. Then you will go to the Install Now, and then when you get through installing it, a lockdown browser icon similar to this one will appear on your desktop. Anytime you have an exam, a major exam that says go through lockdown, then you will go through this on your computer first. You will not go straight to Blackboard. You will go to your computer, you will click on the lockdown browser, it will take you to Blackboard, then you will log in after that. So it's just an added feature. And we also do webcam, so make sure you have a webcam and a webcam that is working. Because we do tape you during your exams. If someone comes in the middle of an exam, you would want to make sure that you email us immediately after that, letting us know who came in and why they came in. If you have any kind of interruptions during your exam, you also want to make sure that we know about that because, again, we'll be watching that and we'll need to know. Please note that we make you do a thorough scan of your environment before you take a test. And that would be a slow environment of everything in front of you, everything behind you, and everything where you are taking your test. It is a very slow scan, and it is where we can see everything. Your eyes should not be darting back and forth to the right or the left a lot. They should be pretty much focused on front of you where your screen is. We will email you or text you if we have any suspicions while you're taking the exam and let you know, and you can follow up with us. Here's where you will also find your theory syllabus, and we went over that again, or we'll go over that in orientation. Here are your spring hours. These are very important. This tells you week by week what we're going to cover as far as theory and practicum. Everything with a T behind it is theory. Everything with a P behind it is practicum. So you want to print that off and keep it with you where you can always look at it. The objectives for each lecture content is going to be posted in the content module section, which we'll look at here in just a second. And that's where you'll find like your PowerPoints, your reading assignment, and what's expected. So if you were to open your spring 2016 hours, then you know that the first week we're doing orientation, which is Tuesday. We're doing IV therapy, IV calculations, and community. Well, where do I find that, Miss Candler? Well, all of those had a P behind it, so you're in the right course. Practicum, P for, or excuse me, you're not in the right course. P would be for practicum. T is for theory. So if you were to go to content modules, you're not, and go to week 1, it says no theory content because there are no T's except for orientation. So this week, you don't have to worry about that. If you look at week 2 in your content modules, you'll see that right now, there's Kaplan Focus Remediation posted. And we will also be going over that in orientation, what we do with Kaplan Focus. There's a difference in Kaplan Focus and Kaplan Integrated. Kaplan Focus you do on your own. You do not have to be monitored by faculty. Kaplan Integrated, you have to be monitored by faculty. All right, then if you go to content module, week 3, which will be the first week, we'll actually start theory content if you were to look at your hours. And the first T is concepts and theories, and then infant, toddler, and preschooler. So what I have posted so far, and I will post a lot more, but I did go ahead and at least post the objectives so you'll know what they look like. So for week 3, concepts and theories, if you were to click on it, it tells you there's the 2016 objectives for concepts and growth and development. So this tells you the objectives. Don't be concerned about this LO number 6. That is for accreditation purposes so that we go back and show that we are meeting each level objective. Here's the content area, and then here are the learning activities. And you can see here that we are covering chapters 1 through 5 on concepts. So you'll go to your PEDS book and you'll read chapters 1 through 5 for your concepts of growth and development. Then if we go back, you'll see here for infant, toddler, and preschool, this is where you find your objectives, PowerPoints, audios, and reading assignments. So that's where you'll find them. You may not have audios for every single lecture content. That is up to the instructor who is teaching that if they want to do the audios. Infant, toddler, and preschool, you can see here, here's the objectives. You can see growth and development of the infant, read chapter 10. If you scroll on down, you'll see growth and development of the toddler, read chapter 12. Growth and development of the preschooler, chapter 13. So your first exam is going to cover chapters 1 through 5 on concepts, and chapter 13, chapter 12, and chapter 10 in your PEDS book. And we'll go over this in more detail each week, so don't get confused. It's going to be all right, I promise. If you're getting too hyperventilating too bad, make sure you have a brown paper bag by you. LOL. It's okay, I promise. But I don't want you going into respiratory alkalosis on me. All right, so that's the content module. That's where you go each week to find your assignments. Then you have something called course messages. This is the same as email. So when you see course messages, this is where you email. So you need to go here frequently, at least every day, and check your emails. This is the main communication is email. You'll check your inbox, and it will tell you right now, I don't have any unread, but you should have had one unread from me until you read it. So if you were to click on your inbox, you should have popped up and had a message from me that said, welcome RN class of 2016. And then you should have read that, and it helped to tell you and get you through orientation and what to bring. All right, then you've got your discussions, which right now we are not going to use discussions in theory. What we have decided to do is continue with the quizzes because they do encourage you to read the chapters very carefully. So I want to make sure that you are reading. So you will have fill-in-the-blank quizzes. Now your fill-in-the-blank quizzes will be 10 questions. You have to take it twice. You have to take 2 tests, and we will take the highest of the 2 quizzes. You have to take both of them. You have to put it in correct grammar. If it is the starting of a sentence, then it would be a capital letter, correct? but it will be word for word as it is in the chapter. So you will have to read the chapter and be able to find those. It's not hard. It's fill in the blank. It may be a little time consuming, but they are not timed. You will have unlimited time to take these quizzes. But it will force you to at least go to those chapters, open your book, and look and read in your book some. Okay? Again, they're randomized, so no, we've got a pool to pull from. So no two quizzes may be exactly the same, but it's from the same content. All right, as far as when you take the two, your highest grade will be posted, and that's what will count. Then you have My Grades here. My Grades is where you will look to find some grades. Of course, right now you don't have any. Groups, we do not use. Tools, and then exams and quizzes. This one, if you look here in your nursing theory course, there is a practice orientation quiz. It says this requires Respondus Lockdown Browser and webcam. This is only a practice. This does not count for points, okay? Does not count for points. This is so that you go in and practice a quiz under Respondus and through webcam so that we can see that you're doing it correctly, that you understand how to do it, and that you feel comfortable doing it. So the first thing you're going to have to do is download Respondus Lockdown. Once you download Respondus Lockdown, don't forget you'll have an icon that will show up on your desktop. You will go through that icon, then you will log into Blackboard. You will need to have your student ID ready. You will need to be prepared to perform an environmental scan. And it has 21 practice questions. With this one, I think we did give you 45 minutes to take it. It's not hard. And you can review the exam after you take it, but you're not to share your answers with others, okay? Because it's just a practice to make sure that you're going to do it. Then I'll go in and I will view your webcams, make sure you got in okay, make sure you're scanning your environment good, and I will give you feedback, either a thumbs up, hey, way to go, you have this webcam and Respondus down pat, or oops, we need to work on this, this, and this, okay? But we'll try to keep it in a positive manner. We do not want you to get discouraged. That's why we're trying to do these things like the practice exam before you take your major first theory exam and something goes wrong and you freak out, because this doesn't count as points. So if something freaks out and goes wrong during this time, it's much better on you. Last but not least is a contacts. This is a wonderful thing we have started. Who you going to call? Instead of Ghostbusters, you're going to call the Instructor Busters. At times, you'll need to call someone about a specific content, exam, or technology question. I'm going to be your advisor for now, so I'm your main contact person for advice, what's going on with the program. There's my office number, but you also have my cell if you need it. Let's say you start taking your Kaplan or your farm and you think, oops, so it shut off on me, I don't know what to do. Here's your contact person, Miss Enlows. There's her office. You've got her phone numbers. Miss Medley is keeping up with your attendance, and that will be explained in orientation, and here is her office number. Yes, we keep up with attendance even if you're online. If you do not do an assignment, you're counted absence. If you don't do a quiz, you're counted absent, so you cannot have perfect attendance if you have any absences from any assignments at the end. Dr. Ball keeps up with TB and CPR, criminal background checks. So if you have any questions, you'll be hearing from her. Mrs. Blue, Crystal Blue, is our IT person. So if you have any trouble accessing your student email or anything like that, you give her a call, and there's her contact number. Miss Jo Stevens is our Blackboard expert. So if you can't access Blackboard, having some issues, there's her phone number. Now, when you're taking exams, sometimes it may freeze up, it may go off, it may be in the middle of a storm. Something may happen. Do not panic. Your first step is turn it off, wait 5 minutes, and log back in. 90% of the time, it will pick right back up where you left off. If it does, then you go ahead, finish your exam, then you message the instructor who's covering that content to say, hey, about it at question 10, I had these issues, I turned it off, I waited 5 minutes, I logged back in, and it did fine. If you turn it off and it does not help, then that's the time to call the instructor who's covering that exam content. So let's say it was Miss Enlow's exam, you call Miss Enlow's. If it was Miss Medley's exam, you call Miss Medley, and so forth. All instructors' cell phone numbers are listed in the syllabus as well as in the handbook. I would suggest that you put those numbers in your phone so that you have them. And of course, if it's after hours, please call or text our cell phones. All right, that gives you an overview of this course. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or concerns, do not hesitate to let me know. Thank you and welcome to the RN class of 2016.